What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. The two biggest names in the lightweight division. The biggest fight that can be made from 140 pounds and below. Make no mistake about it. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is a cash cow of 140 pounds and below. I would say that Ryan Garcia is probably the second biggest name, second biggest draw at 140 pounds and below. So I find it quite interesting that Ryan Garcia, who's the clear B-side, he did around 12,000 and change in his destruction over Javier Fortuna at the same arena that Gervonta Tank Davis did 15,000 and some change. Ryan Garcia got $2 million to fight Javier Fortuna. That was Gervonta Tank Davis's guarantee in several of his pay-per-view events on Showtime. So at the end of the day, he walked away with much more than that at the end of the day. That was just what he was going to make at bare minimum. If he didn't sell one pay-per-view, he was going to get $2 million guarantee. So Gervonta Tank Davis is the clear A-side, ladies and gentlemen. But the problem with this fight coming to fruition is the B-side is already making demands. The B-side's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, says they're very excited about making the fight between Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis to happen in November. Oscar De La Hoya is no fool. He's a cross-dresser. He's a cokehead, but he's no fool. He knows that Gervonta Tank Davis is scheduled to come back in December. See, a lot of these guys, a lot of these big wigs in boxing, they know a lot of stuff that be going on behind the scenes. That's why they speak on stuff before it comes to fruition. In a lot of cases, they be accurate. Outside of Eddie Hearn, you can't believe nothing he say, man. That guy there, I'm going to leave that alone. But anyway, for the most part, man, these guys have inside knowledge because they're in the game and they hear a lot of things going on in the background. And they know a lot of things that's going to happen before the boxing fans know. And Oscar De La Hoya very well knows that Gervonta Tank Davis is due to come back in December. That's why he threw out November. They don't want to make the fight, ladies and gentlemen. The B-side fighter, Ryan Garcia, says he's not fighting at 135 no more. He's not campaigning at the lightweight division no more. And the A-side, that's where he's been fighting at in his last, couple of fights. Now, he fought Mario Barrios at 140, but ever since then, he's fought Isaac Cruz at 135, and he's fought Rolando Rolly Romero at 135. And he has a belt at 135. He is the world WBA welterweight champion. You can talk down on this belt, say it's a secondary belt, but he is a champion at 135. So all that is going to end up costing this fight. All that's going to end up hampering this fight from going down between two of the biggest names in the sport of boxing. Now, Golden Boy's COO, Jason Gaspari, came out and said that, look, we want to make the Tank fight, but the zone has to be involved. Why is that the case, Robert? Ryan Garcia is not signed to the zone. Ryan Garcia is signed to Golden Boy. See, now Stephen Espinoza, who runs Showtime Boxing, who has showcased Tank Davis's last 11 fights, he came out and said, I don't know why the zone should be involved. First of all, Ryan Garcia is not signed to the zone. Second of all, the zone in the past has been sniffing around our fighters that we put on our network saying that they're not signed with Showtime. Now the shoe was on the other foot, and we're going to play by the same rules they were playing by when they was trying to make fights with Deontay Wilder, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and the Charlo brothers. We're going to play by the same rules. We don't see why the zone has to be involved. So that's the reasons. The reasons that we're here. That's the reasons why this fight's not coming to fruition. I hate to pour cold water on this fire. I hate the rain on these boxing fans' parade, but this fight's not going to happen next. Ryan Garcia is coming back in November. Gervonta Tank Davis coming back in December. Gervonta Tank Davis is the clear A-side. And the B-side is out here telling Gervonta Tank Davis that the fight has got to happen in November. It's got to happen at 140, and the zone must be involved, even though the zone don't have a contract with Ryan Garcia's name on it. That's absolutely ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the reasons why this fight is not happening. Now, Ryan Garcia put on a scintillating performance in Los Angeles, California, IA, as he destroyed, dismantled, and mollywopped Javier Fortuna. He wants to make the Tank fight happen, but his people really don't want to make the fight happen. Just go by what they've been saying in the lead up to the fights in Javier Fortuna and right after the Javier Fortuna fight. It's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the reason why boxing is a niche sport. This is the reason why boxing has fell behind the MMA as far as coverage and exposure on the #1 sports network, ESPN. Because we're not getting Chance Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. as of now. Hopefully we get it, but right now we don't have it. We didn't get Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Maybe the fight happens after AJ gets beat again by Usyk. Because if AJ wins, he's going to have mandatory obligations, and he's not going to be able to fight Deontay Wilder anytime soon. So the best bet for that fight to happen is AJ loses. Then we might be able to get that fight happening. But I doubt it. Even if that's the case, they're going to be looking to get AJ back in the win column against a softer touch. They wouldn't dare put him in there with a dangerous puncher like Deontay Wilder coming off back-to-back losses. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But don't look for Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia anytime soon. Ryan Garcia, in all likelihood, will be fighting in November against JoJo Diaz. Ooh, yeah! Probably back on the West Coast. Gervonta Tank Davis will be coming back in December on Showtime pay-per-view. Michelle Rivera is the front runner for that fight. We will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. A lot of people are saying, man, it's going to be a good fight between Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. This fight definitely will have to happen on the West Coast. Yeah, but it ain't going to happen on the West Coast, the East Coast, the Gulf Coast. It's not going to happen on none of them coasts. It's not going to happen next. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. So don't get your hopes up, because you're going to get your hopes dashed. Because when Ryan Garcia announces his next fight and Gervonta Tank Davis announces his next fight and it ain't against each other, boxing fans going to be feeling some type of way. And I'm just preparing you beforehand. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. It never rains in Southern California. That's what they tell me. It never rains in Southern California. That's what they tell me. Yeah, I hate to rain on everybody's parade. After a scintillating performance by Ryan Garcia in Southern California over Javier Fortuna, Gervonta Tank Davis got a highlight reel knockout over Rolly Romero in the Barcade Center on the East Coast. And basically we got an East Coast, West Coast beef, kind of like with the Biggie Smalls versus Tupac Shakur. We got the Golden Boy who can't stand the PBC, and you got the PBC who dislikes Golden Boy in the utmost. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Follow me on Instagram, 9707 Gerard. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.